In a small, forgotten town, there sat an old, crumbling school. It was a spooky place with a dark history, and people whispered that it was cursed. Sarah and Mike were a young couple deeply in love, and they weren't like most folks. They were brave and curious. And they decided to explore the mysterious school one chilly night. They parked their car near the schoolyard, and the moonless night made the place even spookier. The twisted tree branches cast eerie shadows on the worn-out building, and it felt like a place forgotten by time. Despite hearing stories about ghosts and strange happenings, Sarah and Mike decided to see for themselves. Sarah held a flashlight, and her eyes showed a mix of fear and excitement. Mike squeezed her hand, and they ventured into the school, determined to uncover its secrets. The old school was silent, and their footsteps echoed in the empty hallways. The air was musty and stale, and it felt like the building itself was holding its breath, waiting for something to happen. Their flashlight revealed faded paintings on the walls, pictures of children playing and stern-faced teachers. Underneath the peeling wallpaper, they found a dark mural that told a different story. It showed children chained to their desks and teachers with creepy smiles. The couple shivered, but their curiosity kept them going. As they explored deeper, the temperature dropped, and a sense of unease settled over them. The classrooms were abandoned, filled with broken desks and old books. In one room, Mike found a diary with a worn-out cover. Its pages were yellowed with age, and they started to read it. The diary belonged to a former teacher named Mr. Holloway, and his entries got increasingly strange. He wrote about an obsession with the school, strange whispers at night, and a belief that the school was cursed. His last entries were frantic, describing his descent into madness and his fear that the school fed on the souls of its students. Feeling unnerved, Sarah and Mike decided to leave. But as they reached the front door, they realized they were trapped. The door wouldn't open, no matter how hard they tried. Panic set in, and they heard ghostly laughter in the darkness. The school seemed to come alive with a sinister energy. Sarah's flashlight flickered, and they were plunged into darkness. The whispers from Mr. Holloway's diary now surrounded them, and it felt like tortured souls were all around. Terrified, the couple ran through the hallways, but the layout seemed to change, and they kept ending up back where they started. It was like the school itself was playing tricks on them. Desperation led them to the basement, and what they found there was truly horrifying. Cages lined the walls, and ghostly children were trapped inside, their eyes empty. Sarah and Mike decided to free them, and as the children floated away, the malevolent presence that had haunted the school turned on them. Shadows swirled around them, and they felt a terrible coldness. In a last-ditch effort, they read from Mr. Holloway's diary, hoping for a way out. When they finished, the school shook, and the world around them collapsed. They were surrounded by blinding light, and then everything went blank. When Sarah and Mike woke up, they were in a sunny meadow. The dark school and its horrors were gone. They held each other tightly, grateful to have escaped. As they left the old school behind, they couldn't help but look back. It was still a decaying building, but it was no longer haunted. Their love and courage had conquered the darkness, and they knew they'd never forget the terrifying adventure they'd been on.